How do you deal with stage fright? How do you beat the fear of speaking in public? You know that feeling where your heart is pounding, you're sweating, it's a cold room, but Charlie sweat, they happen, and you are just nervous and tense and anxious and very afraid. Well, welcome to a simple method of dealing with stage fright, and it's built around the word stage. So if you can spell the word stage, you will remember these tips, okay? S-T-A-G-E. These are tips for you to beat stage fright. Now, the first letter S stands for shift your focus. You know, you need to take the focus away from yourself to deal with stage fright. People who are nervous and anxious are always thinking that the attention is on them. So they're thinking, what will happen to me if I get on the stage and I open my mouth and nothing comes out? Or you trip over your words, or you forget your delivery, what you're supposed to say. So it's all the focus is on you, and it makes you even more nervous and makes you more tense and afraid. So you need to flip the focus. So shift your focus not from yourself, but to the people who are in the audience. It's a bit like flipping your camera from selfie mode, where you're seeing yourself, to the regular camera mode, where you're looking at the audience. So now you're thinking about the audience. So what do they want to learn from this presentation? How much time do they have? Who are in the audience? If it's young people, you don't want to, or non-technical people, you don't bamboozle them with jargon. You know, speaking to doctors will be different from speaking to patients or teenagers or teachers. So focus on the audience will take the focus away from you. And the way our brains are designed, you can only think about one thing at a time. So if you're focusing on the audience, you will not be focusing on yourself, and you will take away the tension and the nervousness that makes you develop stage fright. So that's S, shift your focus. Now T is for train your brain. You know, generally human beings they always think of the worst thing that can happen to them, and it's a normal thing. You always think of what's the worst thing that can happen, and sometimes you end up creating fears that are not there. You know, so always thinking about, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? It's like having a dream and look, or working through a situation where you are thinking of a negative outcome. It's like going to a movie and expecting that the movie will be bad, you know, but you don't want to have that. You want to train your brain to look for the positive, and you can do that by telling yourself that this is going to have a positive outcome. I'm going to be able to influence them with a great speech. At the end of the presentation, people will clap and they'll ask me intelligent questions around what I'm going to say to them, and just create a positive frame of mind instead of a negative one where you think everything can go wrong. So that's the way you train your brain. Always look for the positive, and then try and put yourself in a frame of mind that will be beneficial, not only to the audience, but to you as well. You know, because if you're thinking of positive outcomes, you will not have space to think of negative outcomes. So train your brain to look for the positive instead of the negative. Now, A in the word stage stands for achieve calm. When you are calm, it is very hard to be nervous and stressed. So there are a couple of ways you can achieve calm. You can pray, if you are that kind of person. You can meditate, focus your mind on something positive and think about it. You can do tongue twisters. Tongue twisters actually relax you, relax your just the equipment that you use to speak, your jaws, your mouth, your tongue. And a simple tongue twister could be free flight from France, you know, and say it with a smile, free flight from France, you know, or Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. You know, you are warming your mouth, you are smiling because they are quite interesting and funny, and you are taking your mind away from the stress that is associated with speaking in public. So tongue twisters, meditation, prayer, deep breathing, you know, so you breathe in deeply through your nose. You can close your eyes if you want to take out all the distractions, and then out through your mouth. Do maybe 5-6 repetitions of that. And as you breathe in deeply and out deeply, you will realize that your heart rate will slow down, your pulse will slow, you become calmer and more relaxed. And then you are in the right frame of mind to do your presentation. Now, G in stage stands for get prepared. So you've shifted your focus, you've trained your brain, you've achieved calm, and G means get prepared. Get prepared for your presentation. Realize this is now that we're going to start speaking. So you get a presentation or you have a speech, don't wait till the night before you start working on it. That's the best way to develop stress and stage fright. So get prepared. So rehearse early. Rehearse early, rehearse often. Rehearse with an audience. Have at least 1 or 2 people in the room while you're doing your presentation, while you're rehearsing it to them. It's far better than you just reading your PowerPoint, thinking that you've done it in 5 minutes, and then you get on the stage, you realize that after 5 minutes, you've only done 20% of the PowerPoint, and you have a lot more to do. Then you start rushing, and you start panicking, and it only increases the stage fright. So rehearse with an audience, and then record your rehearsal. That's a key one. A lot of people rehearse looking into mirrors. I used to do that too. Look into the mirror and then talk to the mirror. But when you get onto the stage, you will not see yourself. You will see an audience. That's why it's really good to have an audience. You don't need to have a full room to rehearse with, even 2 people. Or even 1 person. That 1 person could be the same person who records your presentation. And so that the whole idea of rehearsing early, rehearsing often, rehearsing with an audience, recording your presentation is that you can actually look at the presentation and then see where you've done well and you maintain on it. See where you need to improve so that your presentation gets better and better. How often do you have to rehearse? Well, as long as you can rehearse and then be happy with your output, use the audience also to let you know what they remembered about the presentation. If they can't remember anything, then it means the presentation needs to be worked on. Okay, so rehearse often, rehearse early, rehearse with an audience, and record your rehearsal. It's very important. If you can't record on video with your phone, you can record on audio still with your phone, but by all means record. Okay, so those are the first 4 steps. Stage, way of beating stage fright. Shift your focus, train your brain, achieve calm, get prepared, and then E, express yourself. So remember, when you get onto the stage, the speaking actually starts from when you are seated and then they call you up. A good way to also not be nervous is to give them your introduction. Let the MC introduce you the way you want to be introduced. I've gone to so many presentations where the MC just basically got a presentation, introduced the speaker in a way that the speaker wasn't really happy with, and he came on, or she came on, and now she had to now correct the MC or say, actually, this is what I do, or this is what my credentials are, and it took away from the presentation. So you give your introduction to the MC, let the MC introduce you the way you want to be introduced. You come on the stage, remember, you get on the stage, and people are watching you as you get on the stage. So just be calm, get onto the stage, smile at them, and start your presentation in a couple of ways. You can be quiet, smile at them, and then launch. Or you can ask a question. How many of you would like to be better public speakers? With the couple of tips I'll come to show you. You ask them a question, they will respond, and then you're good to go. You can start a story. Once upon a time, there was so and so. So people will be rapt, will be attentive to what you have to say, and they will listen. You get their attention. The first couple of minutes are key because people need to get. You need to get people listening to you and focus on what you have to say. So make sure you have a good introduction, and then deliver your presentation. If it's slides and you miss a slide, don't worry. People don't know your slides, so don't apologize. Oh, actually, I should have done this before that. No, people don't care. People just want the general meaning of what you have to say, and they want to take something away from your presentation. So present. If you have mistakes, don't worry. Nobody's expecting perfection from you. People are expecting to get something out of the presentation. 1 or 2 mistakes. If you don't flag them, nobody will even know you made a mistake. Okay. And on a high note, ask if there are any questions. Take your questions. You don't have to have all the answers to the questions, okay? That also puts a lot of pressure on people. Hey, question time, what's going to happen? What will they ask me? If you don't have an answer to a question, you can throw it to the audience. You say, well, thank you for that question. And let's see whether the audience have any insights on this, and you throw it back to them. If you don't want to do that, you can say, well, I don't have the answer to the question if you don't have the answer to the question, but I can get back to you if you give me your email and I get back to the office within an hour, I'll get back to you. So there's so many ways of dealing with the Q&A, which will take away pressure from yourself. Remember, people are not there generally to mark you. People are there to derive something out of your presentation, something they can take home to use. Okay, so those are the 5 tips for dealing with public speaking fears and stage fright. Shift your focus away from yourself to the audience. Train your brain to look for the positive and leave the negative aside. Achieve calm in a number of ways: meditation, prayer, tongue twisters, deep breathing. Get prepared the right way, that's G. Rehearse early, rehearse often, rehearse with an audience, rehearse on camera, and record your rehearsal. And then E, express yourself, have a strong introduction. Don't worry too much about mistakes. Don't flag mistakes. Be like the TV presenters who, even if they make mistakes, the experienced ones, they don't say, oh, I'll take it again. The moment they say, I'll take it again, then you go back and you're wondering, what are they going to take again? But just flow through. When it comes to the Q&A, don't be stressed if you don't have the answers. Throw it to the audience, or tell them you get back to them later on, or you can ask somebody to give you his or her insights to the question. And you should be fine. Practice makes perfect. So make sure you practice these tips. Public speaking is a mind game. It starts with the mind first. That's how come the first 3 tips all have to do with mind issues. Shifting your focus, S. Training your brain, T. Achieving calm, A. And then the actual talking and preparation starts from the G stage. So getting prepared and then expressing yourself. Which of these tips do you have most of the problems with? Which ones are a real barrier to your progress in public speaking? Put them down below in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, do so right now. Hit the notification bell. And when another public speaking video comes up, you will be the first to know. Thank you very much. Keep practicing the stage tips for beating public speaking fears right now.